guys, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It looks like things are heating up in female rap because Megan is not happy with Gorilla Glue. As we know, Gorilla Glue posted a repost of a quote insinuating that she's a good person and that's why she's so blessed. A lot of people felt like that was shade towards Megan Thee Stallion. Plus, she had Tory Lanez playing in the background of the post. And I'm like, damn, didn't Megan bring you on tour? And this is how you betray her? But with that being said, though, Megan will be addressing Gorilla Glue in a song. Okay, so Gorilla Glue, you got to get your pen ready. Because Megan is coming after everybody that basically has turned their backs on her. Cardi B, oh, you gonna be on the hit list too. Now, her and Cardi B kind of already been throwing shots, but I think it's going to be even more now considering that Cardi B did not speak up for her while she's getting dragged because people believe that Tory Lanez is innocent. But fans are also calling out Victoria Monet. A fan said, Victoria Monet, I'm sorry, but I don't know how to feel about you either. The Megan Thee Stallion fan also tweeted, that girl praises Chris Breezy and wants to be an opener for him on his tour, but sitting here being besties with Meg, yet she knows she's fighting an abuser, okay? And as we know, Chris Breezy, the colorist, is advocating for Tory to get out of jail. So a lot of fans are saying that Victoria Monet, who has been eating Megan Thee Stallion's coochie, is fake towards Megan because she's advocating to work with Chris Breezy, the colorist, open up for him on tour, and he is Team Tory, and he's an abuser to a lot of people. He just popped somebody over the head with a bottle. That's why he got arrested in the UK. Now, here's my thing. I don't think Victoria Monet is being fake. I think that a lot of people, even though Chris Breezy is not a good person, they view him as talent. Okay, same thing with the R. Kellys and the other abusive men in the industry. Like, people recognize talent, but they may not agree with everything that they do. And I think Chris Breezy, he's had a really decent run, especially for being blackballed. Now, do I particularly support Chris Breezy, the colorist? No, I haven't never went to any of his concerts. I barely buy his music, but there's people that do. Okay, but to me, it's not because I know that he's an abuser. That's why I don't support Chris Breezy, the colorist. I don't really listen to him like that, So I feel like it depends on the type of music that you listen to. He's never really in my playlist. It's not even really no shade. But I'd rather listen to The Weeknd or Bruno Mars or Harry Styles than listen to Chris Brown. No shade. It's just me personally. So with that being said, I feel like it depends on how people view Chris Breezy and Tory, and people feel like they're talented, so they're not going to stop listening to their music. As for her and Gorilla Glue, I feel like her and Gorilla Glue definitely have beef, and I talked about that yesterday. And the thing is, I feel as though Megan, she falls out with a lot of people. People don't want to talk about that, but how you fall out with everybody is like you have these friendships for a few months, and then after a few months, the friendship is over. That's suspicious in my opinion. Is Megan really a girl's girl? I don't think so. Now, moving on from that, fans are concerned with Doja Cat's next era. The kitty litters are kind of scared about her next era flopping, considering that Scarlet didn't really do as well as Planet Her, and the Scarlet Deluxe completely flopped. A fan said, I'm actually worried about this era and the YouTube numbers because Claude's numbers were ... And if you guys have ever seen Doja Cat's, I think it's called Mask, featuring Tizo Touchdown, it only has 12 million views, and it came out like over a year ago. So fans are a little bit worried that she may not be getting the payola that she used to. But I heard that, she got a new Payola deal. Not a YouTube deal, but a Payola deal. And, she is going to get some payola for the next era. So I really don't think they have too much to worry about. Now, Cardi B is sincerely delusional. She goes on live and tries to give another BS excuse on why her album hasn't dropped. I feel bad for Garbage Gang. Well, actually, I'm lying. I don't.
Weekend. We're gonna have a good weekend. Oh, y'all, and by the way, I know y'all been asking me about my album, but right now, when it comes to my album, I don't let y'all know it's not my fault right now. Like, right now, it's not my fault. Right now, it's really, 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 really not my fault. Well, it kind of is, but it's kind of not, because it's like, I'm gonna talk about it when I put the announcement out. But, like, you know, I'm trying to give everything at the same time. This bundle should be annoying. I'm not even gonna lie, this bundle should be annoying. Like, it got so much bullshit, and people just be fucking, I don't know, like, I that's why I don't like depending on other people for certain things. And I'm not talking about artists, I'm talking about, like, with these bundle stuff. But it's coming out great. I really wish I would have done the fucking album announcement last week when shit was hot, but you know what I'm saying, I can't do nothing about it. Don't put this on Twitter neither. Like, it's like, if y'all gonna talk about it, talk about it in the group chat. But yeah.
Now, if this hoe don't sit the fuck down, she talking about, oh, the bundles are holding up my album. What you need bundles for? She really trying to finesse her first week sales by having bundles. She just threw herself under the bus. Her bundles are not ready. That means it ain't going to be about the music. It's going to be about the antics and the payola. Because why do you need bundles to sell a record? I thought you was talented. Didn't Ass Cap, whatever their name is, didn't they say you had talent? What you need bundles for? See how she trying to finesse the charts because she knows she can't sell with just the music? That is what it's given. Okay, I can understand having vinyls or whatever, but that means she probably gonna have merch. You know, she gonna have all type of bullshit counting as first week sales when she drops this bogus ass album. That's what it's given. I can't believe that Garbage Gang is falling for Cardi B's antics. I mean, to be quite honest, this album ain't gonna be worth the wait. Let's be very clear. It's not. Okay, Cardi B is not that girl when it comes to rap. Okay, especially if Partisan Fontaine is writing for her. She need to sit the fuck down with this one. This was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And then she talk about, oh, it's not really my fault. I'm waiting on the bundles. Girl, bye. Oh my goodness. That was a sad ass excuse. Now, Megan Thee Stallion's team has released a statement. Okay, they said despite Mr. Lanez being convicted at trial by an overwhelming evidence, he and his team flanked by any ignorant person that can find and have pushed whatever misleading narrative they can, one by one, their misleading statements unravel. All that is left is the simple truth. He was convicted by overwhelming evidence, and those who seek to traumatize the victims of the crime should be called out as foolish bullies. Megan also clowns Tory and Congresswoman Luna by saying 36 hours later and Hot Girl Swim still selling fast. That's probably not true. But didn't Congresswoman Luna said that the ring footage would be leaked within 36 hours? What happened to that? Now, SZA also came to Megan Thee Stallion's defense yet again. You know, she made a comment on TikTok and then she went under the shade room. And she said, please know there is not an issue you can say to me about me to make bullying a black woman for 2 years straight over some ish that happened to her okay. It's our duty to protect black women. How else will we expect anyone else to do it? Argue with your mammy. I really don't give an F. Well, that's great, and I do partially agree with SZA, but it's also our duty to hold women and black women accountable when they are wrong. Okay? I think there's a lot of women that don't like to be held accountable for their actions. SZA and Megan are two of them. Okay? Megan doesn't like to be held accountable for her actions, and neither does SZA. That's why she is a lying Scorpio. But with that being said, Megan hasn't been completely truthful throughout this whole case, and that's part of the reason why people don't believe her. She lied about sleeping with Tory. She lied about her and Kelsey not fighting. She lied about acting belligerent at Kylie Jenner's house. And according to Nicki Minaj, she lied on her dead mama. No shade. So Megan needs to be held accountable for lying. a known liar, and then also being an opportunist. Now, moving on from that, Queen B sets it off by breaking another record. It has been reported that Queen B's tour has grossed $98.2 million with only 8 shows. And with that being said, a lot of people were clowning Queen B and saying that her tour was going to flop. But I don't think grossing $98 million with 8 shows is a flop. Ain't no way. Mind you, this is a stadium tour. Mind you, she's only doing like 40, 50 shows. This kind of proves that she is really, in fact, the queen of music. It's just people don't want to give her that title because they always try to discredit a black woman. So it looks like Gorilla Glue's hairstylist is sending threats to Megan Thee Stallion. So her hairstylist posted, "About my B word, I'm on shit disrespectfully," and asked Gorilla Glue. With that being said, as we know, Megan Thee Stallion unfollowed Gorilla Glue because she was throwing subliminal shots on Instagram and she posted a Tory Lanez song. Now, with that being said, I don't think it's that serious that it needs to get physical. Okay? Y'all be taking shit too far, but am I shocked? Gorilla Glue is from the hood. Cardi B did the same thing with Nicki Minaj, where she had to throw a shoe at a fashion event, and it wasn't even that deep. It got deeper after the fact, but it wasn't deeper before. And I just don't understand, when are you hoes gonna get in a booth? Megan is getting in a booth, and Gorilla Glue, she's going to be throwing shots at you. I suggest you get a ghostwriter because you're going to need one to compete with Meg. The thing with Gorilla Glue is that she is somewhat, a decent artist. I think she definitely makes bops. I actually think most of her music sounds better than Megan Thee Stallion's recent music. But I don't know if she can go bar for bar with Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, because a lot of the songs she makes are like fun bops, TikTok records. But can she go bar for bar? I don't know. I suggest Gorilla Glue get into the booth and get a ghostwriter. Okay, and not Partisan Fontaine. He's not that great. Get a better ghostwriter. And, you might want to put out your diss track before Megan puts out hers. Because I heard she coming for your neck. And she's coming for a few different people, but you on the list. Okay, you're on her shit list, and that's why you got unfollowed. Okay, these girls got to get in the booth instead of always trying to fight or get their homegirls to jump somebody. I mean, that's corny. This is not Love and Hip Hop. This is female rap. But in hindsight, in a few years, some of y'all might be on Love and Hip Hop. So I can see why you guys would go that route, because some of y'all gonna be on Love and Hip Hop after your music career flops. Now, Remy Ma and Papoose were going back and forth on social media looking a hot stinking ass mess. I'm like, goodness gracious, just ghetto. What happened to black love? I guess that don't exist anymore. But a lot of people are talking about the fact that Papoose revealed that he basically wrote all of Remy Ma's raps. I'm like, goodness gracious, is this karma for what she did to Nicki Minaj? Remember, she was really trying to push the narrative that Nicki didn't write. It was Safari. But it looks like the table is clearly turning.
Written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth. And with me saying that, I want to say this to y'all. Anyone who has an iPhone, you know how iPhones work. When I was younger, I used to be able to write rhymes in my head, create rhymes in my head, and remember them. Just like that. As time went on, I got a little older, I started to write rhymes in my email draft. Now, if you have an iPhone, you go in your email draft. If anybody come around me, and we're in the flesh next to each other, I can type in any word from one of her songs, and her entire rap will come up. The entire verse will come up. I never asked for a penny. I never asked for credit. She was my wife. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win. Like I said, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth since I met her. Y'all said it. Y'all said it numerous times. Oh, we know that's Pep behind that pen. Did I ever agree with y'all? Did I ever put it out there? I never said I wrote her rhymes. I left it. I didn't need the credit. All I wanted her to do was win. Wrote the rhymes, did the contracts, security, the whole shit.
Now, didn't Onika Tanya Mirage say that she broke Aretha's record, but Papoose wrote the Sheetha record? Okay, didn't Nikki already air that out? Now, here's the thing though, with Crack Poose. My whole thing is I wouldn't brag about writing for Remy Ma because she barely has any hits. Okay. Lean Back came out how many years ago? All the Way Up came out how many years ago? What recent hits does she got? Why would you want to brag about writing for a flop? No shade. Whether she Remy Ma or not, she's more known as a former love and hip hop star. She's not really known as a rapper like that, considering that she barely has any hits on her belt. I think you should have kept that to yourself. And there's really no shade. I wouldn't go bragging about writing for Remy Ma. Then he made a post basically saying the reason why he hasn't filed for divorce yet is because he doesn't want to embarrass his child that he has with Remy Ma, okay? And he says that, basically Remy Ma has been acting like a clown and she tried to get back with him, okay? Actually yesterday, that's what he claims. But my whole thing is they're too toxic to get back together. They just need to go in love and hip hop and show us the show. Okay, I would like to see Clarissa, I think that's his girlfriend's name, Remy and Papoose on Love and Hip Hop. That would definitely be entertaining. Okay, because nobody cares about the music anymore. So they might as well just call it the day, go on Love and Hip Hop, and let people watch the show. Okay, now Remy Ma did debunk the fact that, she was trying to get back with Papoose and he was writing her rap. She says these are lies. But I think Remy Ma is a liar. And the thing is, you cheated and these are the consequences for your actions. Now, the streets are saying Kid Cudi snitched on Diddy. Okay, his rap career is over, but he wasn't really that nigga anyway. Okay, now Kid Cudi reveals during his testimony at Diddy's trial that Diddy once broke into his home and confirms Diddy tried to blow up his Porsche by throwing a Molotov cocktail inside the car. Kid Cudi said he wanted to fight Diddy for breaking into his home and hurting his dog. Yeah, right. You would have got shot, please. You was not trying to fight Diddy. Sit the fuck down. Stop it. Anyway, he said that he and Cassie dated in 2011 after she and Diddy had some problems and stopped dating. He testified in December 2011. Cassie called him earlier in the morning, scared, saying Diddy had found out about them. Kid Cudi picked up Cassie shortly after his house was broken into. Gifts were open, his dog was locked in the bathroom, and the security cameras have been moved. He said his dog became jittery and on edge after the break-in. He testified that Diddy told him over the phone, "I'm over here waiting for you." Later, Kid Cudi's dog babysitter called to say his Porsche was on fire. Cudi says the fire was caused by the cocktail thrown in the car. He identified the damage in court photos. He told the court he believed Diddy was responsible for both the break-in and the car bombing. Okay? Let me know how y'all feel about that. Here's the thing, though, with Cassie. And, I understand that she's a victim, but Diddy and Kid Cudi, really? Like, come on now. Like, this is the best you could have done, to be quite honest. Like, how you go from dating, you went down. You went from bottom bussy 1 to bottom bussy 2. Okay, because Kid Cudi be getting his back blown out, and I know you know that. So with that being said, I just don't understand why she went from Diddy to Kid Cudi. I'm confused by that. Can somebody help me? Because he's not that cute, and he's a bottom bussy just like Diddy. So I was very confused by that. I'm like, goodness, her roster is terrible. Except Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan not that great either. I don't like anybody on Cassie's roster except the husband. Alex was the best thing she ever did. That was like the best one. Everybody else is a chop. Okay, so I'm kind of confused why she would start dating Kid Cudi, and then I know she was messing with Michael B. Jordan, or they were texting or something. I just don't understand why she was going from one bottom feeder to another. I just don't understand that. So, Cassie, I don't know. The roster just looks worse and worse. And let me not even talk about the escorts. I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Universal and the iconic group Salt and Pepper. They're suing Universal and Lucian. Link will be in description on Patreon. And I hope you have a great day.